you, it's Pumbaa.
So, does this mean we're going back to the beginning?
Oh, no, Pumbaa. No. We're going way back to before the beginning.
Hey there, Star Riders. Welcome back to the Diary of the Cosmos, where every chapter is a new adventure. Grab your pens. We're about to write some stellar stories together. I know what you're thinking. Disney for adults? Yep, that's right. Today we're going to talk about a crazy idea that's been bouncing around in my head. What if Disney launched its own version of Adult Swim or Nick at Night? I mean, imagine if Disney's iconic characters, worlds, and stories were reimagined for an adult audience. Could they pull it off? Is there actually an untapped market here? Stick around because we're diving deep into all the possibilities. Now, we all know Disney as the ultimate family friendly powerhouse, creating memorable movies like The Lion King, Frozen, Toy Story, Princess and the Frog, Lilo and Stitch, Tangled. You get the picture. But what if Disney started creating content that wasn't just for kids? What if they reworked their beloved franchises with more mature themes, edgy humor, or even darker, more complex stories? Could Disney really have its own late night adult programming? Let's explore. But before we can explore, we need to dive into the first question of this video. What would an adult Disney Channel even look like? So, let's start with the nostalgia factor. Disney has built a legacy around childhood memories. It's the magic of growing up with Mickey, Minnie, Simba, and all the classic Disney princesses. But, and this is a huge and big but, what if we took those characters and reimagined them for an older, more mature audience? We've seen how Adult Swim took cartoons like the Venture Bros and Rick and Morty and completely redefined animated content for adults. It wasn't just about adult humor, it was about pushing boundaries with storylines that had depth, complexity, and yes, a bit of chaos. Now, imagine Disney taking some of those same beloved characters and twisting them into something for an older crowd. Mickey Mouse, 20 years after his golden age. He's now a washed up, older character struggling with the fact that he's no longer the icon he once was. A bit like how Bart Simpson has evolved over the years. Mickey's cynical, jaded, still the lovable mouse, but with a lot more baggage. This could open the door to some dark humor about fame, aging, and what happens when childhood heroes grow up. Or better yet, what about Toy Story, but with an adult twist? The toys are no longer just happy to be played with, they're questioning their existence, dealing with the trauma of being abandoned, or living with the idea of being replaced by new toys. Woody could be going through a midlife crisis, and Buzz Lightyear, instead of his usual to infinity and beyond mantra, he might be starting to contemplate his purpose in life. Pretty dark, right? What if we could go even darker with these characters? What if we took a more serious approach with them? Let's talk about going deeper than just the funny side of things. Disney has an entire universe of rich, complex characters. And what if we took them in a darker direction? Like, I'm talking adult themed explorations of real world issues like power struggles, betrayal, trauma, and more. And the perfect character to fit these ideas of real world issues is Scar from The Lion King.
Turn your back on me, Scar.
Oh no, Mufasa. Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
I mean, he's a great villain, right? But what if his story was reworked to be a commentary on human ambition and the cost of power? A show could follow him as he manipulates his way to the throne, dealing with the psychology of power hungry leadership. It's not just about his jealousy over Mufasa, it's a character study of a person willing to destroy everything for personal gain. And then there's Maleficent. Sure, we already seen a reimagining of her, but imagine diving even deeper into her trauma. What if Maleficent's backstory wasn't just about betrayal, but also PTSD from being wronged by the system? Think about a show where her past actions were explained in an adult way, with complex emotional depth. Maybe she starts out as the anti hero, and we get to see her struggle with guilt, revenge, and her choices in a world that doesn't understand her. Now, let's go further. And I mean further, let's go darker and get out of our ideas of what ideas we can create with Disney villains. And let's see what ideas we can create with Disney princesses. Let's see if we are able to see them outside of their usual happily ever afters. Like for an example, let's take Cinderella, but let's make her story darker. Imagine the evil stepmother and stepsisters not just as cartoonish villains, as manipulative, psychologically abusive figures. There's no happily ever afters here, just a gritty psychological thriller that explores what it means to be trapped in an abusive household, using the fairy tale setting to shine a light on real world issues like mental abuse and social manipulation. Let's be real for a minute. Could Disney really pull something like this off? Now that we have our wild ideas cooking in the pot, let's make this into a whole meal and ask the big question, could Disney actually pull something like this off? Disney brand is synonymous with family-friendly entertainment, and they built an empire on that image. So, do they really take the risk of branching into adult content without damaging their core image? Well, here's the thing. Other networks and streaming services have done it. We've seen Adult Swim success with shows like Rick and Morty and The Venture Bros. Disney isn't afraid to experiment. Just look at The Mandalorian and how The Simpsons have evolved under their watch. And let's not forget about The Simpsons. It's been around for decades, and though it's family friendly at times, it's also been pushing boundaries with satire, political commentary, and adult humor for years. So why couldn't Disney experiment with more adult programming in the same way? Plus, adult animation is booming right now. Shows like Big Mouth on Netflix, BoJack Horseman, and even Family Guy have proven that there is a hungry audience for mature animated content. Disney already has the characters, worlds, and fan base, so why not tap into that market? But let's not just sit here and speculate. Let's talk about how this could be a successful business move for Disney if they've done it correctly. Okay, let's talk numbers for a second. Something that I'm not good at, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Could Disney make this work from a business perspective? Let's break it down. Disney's already dominating the streaming game with Disney Plus, and they diversified with everything from Marvel to Star Wars. Why not take this opportunity to launch a new channel or late night blog dedicated to adult animation and adult content? It could be a separate section, kind of like what Nick and Nite did for adults back in the day with old sitcom reruns.
George Lopez, every night on Nick at Night.
Disney could easily create original adult shows, tapping into new audiences, all while keeping their family friendly content separate. Think of it as a Disney After Dark, or how I like to call it, DAD, a safe space for adults who want a bit of nostalgia but with a more grown up, gritty twist. Finally, let's wrap this up with some crazy ideas for shows that could actually work for this segment. All right, for the fun part. What would these adult shows actually look like on Disney? Okay, and let's get wild here. When I mean wild, I mean buck wild. What if we had a Pirates of the Caribbean dark comedy series? Not just a typical pirate adventure, but a gritty detective noir where Captain Jack Sparrow is navigating a corrupt, dangerous world, solving mysteries all while dealing with the consequences of his chaotic past. Or let's tap into the reality show side of TV, of creating Housewives of Disney Villains. Picture Cruella, Maleficent, Ursula trying to outdo each other in the world of high stakes fashion and backstabbing. It'll be like Bravo, the Real Housewives, meet the Disney Villains universe with a ton of drama, chaos, and dark humor. So, tell me what you think. Do you think Disney could pull this off? So there you have it, Star Riders. Could Disney really pull off an adult animation channel? Would you tune in for a late night block where Mickey, Elsa, and Simba navigate some serious grown up drama? I want to know your thoughts, Star Riders. Drop them in the comments. I'm dying to hear if you'll be into something like this. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to join the journey through the stars of more out of this world ideas. Until next time, keep your pen to the stars and your heart in the pages. Sincerely yours.